Army, stop scrolling right now. Before anything else, like this video, comment your theory below, and subscribe to Jikook Lover, because what you're about to hear isn't just another airport arrival story. This is bigger, stranger, and honestly a little terrifying. Why would Portugal issue an official warning to fans just because Jikook and BTS landed? Why was hotel security tightened like a VIP government visit? And why did witnesses say the atmosphere felt tense, almost secretive? Is this really about safety? Or is there something they don't want fans to see? Stay with us, because today we're uncovering the shocking truth behind what really happened in Portugal. That morning, Lisbon looked completely ordinary. The sky was pale blue, the air cool and gentle, the streets still half asleep as cafes slowly opened their doors and trams rattled lazily across the city. Nothing felt unusual. Nothing felt historic. Nothing suggested that within hours, this quiet European capital would become the center of one of the most talked about moments in the global fandom world. And yet, something was already shifting. Not in the streets, not in the buildings, but online. It started with whispers, a flight number, a blurry airport photo, a rumor posted in a private fan group. BTS is coming. 3 simple words. But for armies, those words are never small. Within minutes, group chats exploded. Notifications wouldn't stop ringing. Timelines began refreshing every second. Fans across Portugal and even nearby countries suddenly felt their hearts race. They're landing today. Jimin and Jungkook together. Lisbon confirmed. Jikook in Portugal. The name spread like wildfire. And the city that had felt sleepy just moments ago suddenly felt electric. Because when BTS moves, the world moves with them. But this time, something was different. Something that didn't quite feel normal. Something that didn't feel like the usual happy chaos of an idol arrival. It felt heavier, more serious, almost controlled. Hours before the plane even touched the runway, hotel staff near the suspected location began acting strangely. Security barriers were quietly installed. Extra personnel were seen checking entrances. Staff members whispered into radios. At first, no one thought much about it. Maybe it was just preparation. Maybe it was routine. But then came the message that changed everything. A warning. Not from fans. Not from rumors. But reportedly from local authorities and hotel management themselves. A clear, firm statement began circulating online. Anyone attempting to disturb the artists, anyone camping outside the hotel, anyone causing excessive crowds, would face direct action. Not a gentle request. Not a polite reminder. A warning. And suddenly, the mood shifted. Because this wasn't how it usually went. Yes, BTS always had security. Yes, crowds were normal. But an official caution like this? It felt extreme. Almost defensive. As if the city wasn't just welcoming celebrities. As if it was protecting something. Or someone. Fans began asking questions immediately. Why Portugal? Why now? Why such strict measures? This wasn't their first time traveling internationally. BTS had visited the US, Japan, France, Dubai, countless places before. Crowds had formed everywhere. But rarely, almost never, did local authorities step in this strongly before anything even happened. So what made this different? Was there a threat? Was there past history? Or was something else going on behind the scenes that fans weren't being told? Speculation grew fast. Too fast. Because when information is limited, imagination fills the gaps. And army imagination? It runs wild. Then the airport footage dropped. Shaky, blurry, clearly filmed in secret, but enough to send millions into a frenzy. Jungkook appeared first. Black cap, mask, walking quickly, head slightly lowered. No playful wave, no relaxed smile. Just speed, just focus, just security tightly surrounding him. And right beside him, Jimin. Closer than usual, moving in sync, protected on all sides. The guards weren't casually guiding them. They were shielding them, clearing paths aggressively, keeping everyone back. The atmosphere didn't look like excitement. It looked tense, urgent, almost like they needed to disappear as fast as possible. And that's what unsettled fans the most. Because BTS arrivals are usually warm. There's laughter, eye contact, small gestures, moments. But this time, it felt cold, rushed, controlled. Witnesses later described it with one strange word that kept repeating online. Serious. It didn't feel like idols arriving, one fan posted. It felt like important officials under protection. That sentence went viral because it perfectly captured the vibe. Something about this wasn't normal. And the more people watched the clips, the more questions they had. Why were they moving so fast? Why were security lines tighter than ever? Why did even the hotel seem almost locked down? Some fans started connecting dots. Jikook, the most watched duo, the most talked about pairing. Every glance between them becomes headlines. Every small interaction trends worldwide. Every moment goes viral within seconds. Maybe, just maybe, the attention had grown too big, too overwhelming, too uncontrollable. Maybe Portugal anticipated crowds beyond anything they could handle. Or maybe there was something more personal, something more sensitive, something the team didn't want public eyes on. Because sometimes, the tighter the security, the bigger the secret feels. And that's when theories truly exploded. Was it just crowd control? Or was someone trying to hide something from cameras? Were they protecting the members? Or protecting a moment that wasn't meant to be seen? The mystery only deepened as more footage surfaced. Tiny glimpses of Jimin and Jungkook walking shoulder to shoulder, Jungkook subtly guiding Jimin through the crowd, their steps perfectly matched like they were instinctively moving as one. Small details, but to fans, those details meant everything. And strangely, the more restricted everything became, the more intense the curiosity grew. Because humans are like that. Tell us not to look, and we want to look even more. Tell us to stay away, and suddenly we feel like something important is happening. By the time night fell over Lisbon, one simple airport arrival had turned into a global discussion. Millions were watching, clips replayed endlessly, threads analyzing every second, and one massive question echoing across the fandom. If this was just a normal visit, why did an entire city act like it wasn't? Why did security feel military level? Why did everything seem so carefully controlled? And what exactly was Portugal trying so hard to prevent? Because sometimes, when the protection becomes this extreme, it's not just about safety anymore. It's about something they don't want the world to see. And the scariest part, we might only have seen the surface. So now the real question remains, was Portugal simply protecting BTS from fans? Night fell slowly over Lisbon, but instead of calming down, the city felt even more restless. Streetlights flickered on one by one, casting long golden reflections on wet pavement, while outside the suspected hotel area, small groups of fans still lingered, phones clutched tightly in their hands, eyes constantly scanning every passing car. No one wanted to leave. No one wanted to miss even a second. Because sometimes, history doesn't knock twice. Every black bend that slowed down made hearts stop. Every shadow behind tinted glass triggered whispers. Is that them? Did you see that? Was that Jungkook? Hope and anxiety blended together until it was impossible to tell which feeling was stronger. But what truly made the night feel heavy wasn't just anticipation. It was the silence. A strange, deliberate silence. Normally, when BTS arrives somewhere, the internet explodes with smiles, waves, funny clips, chaotic fan screams. It's loud, messy, joyful. Tonight, everything felt restrained, controlled, almost like an invisible wall had been placed between the artists and the world. Even nearby businesses reportedly received instructions to keep pathways clear. Hotel entrances were monitored more strictly. Staff politely but firmly redirected anyone trying to stay too long. It didn't feel like a celebration. It felt like containment. And the more people noticed it, the more one unsettling thought kept returning. What exactly were they preparing for? Or worse, what were they afraid of? Because you don't mobilize this level of security for nothing. You don't issue warnings without reason. You don't treat a music group like a diplomatic mission unless something bigger is at stake. Some fans began to wonder if it wasn't just about crowd safety anymore. Maybe it was about privacy. Maybe it was about exhaustion. Maybe it was about protecting moments that didn't belong to cameras. Moments between members. Moments between Jimin and Jungkook that, if magnified by millions of lenses, would turn into endless speculation overnight. After all, every step they take together becomes a headline. Every glance becomes evidence. Every small gesture becomes a global debate. Maybe Portugal wasn't just guarding celebrities. Maybe they were guarding humanity, guarding two young men who simply wanted to walk into a hotel without the world dissecting every breath they took. And somehow, that realization hit harder than any conspiracy. Because behind the fame, behind the flashing lights, behind the theories, they're still just people. Tired, human, needing space. Yet at the same time, the mystery still lingered. Because the tension, the strictness, the urgency, it all felt too intense to ignore completely. Was this truly only protection? Or was there still something we hadn't seen? Something that slipped past cameras? Something that only those present that night would ever fully understand? By midnight, Lisbon finally grew quiet again. The crowds thinned. The streets emptied. The hotel lights dimmed. But online, the storm had just begun. Millions of fans across the world replayed the same clips over and over, zooming in, analyzing shadows, searching for answers that might not even exist. Because sometimes the biggest stories aren't about what we see. They're about what we don't. And maybe that's why this arrival feels different. Not louder, but deeper. Not chaotic, but strangely secretive. So now we're left with one haunting question that refuses to disappear. Did Portugal tighten security simply to protect BTS from overwhelming fans?